If I have seen farther, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants. This is most likely an apocryphal quote attributed to Isaac Newton when asked about his work in developing calculus and the theory of gravity. But it's really true of all of us. We are all a product of those who've influenced us. Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, I'm counting down the top 10 flow artists who've made my own journey and work possible. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow DNA, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. And a special thanks to the first non-business friend of the channel, Johnny Howard. Thanks so much for your support, Johnny. So when I say influential, what exactly does that mean? In some cases, these are people that inspired a particular element of how I spin, taught me something that has had long-lasting implications on my approach to the art, or whose example has informed my art or my content. That covers a lot of ground, and we have a lot of artists to cover in just 15 minutes, so let's dive in, and I'll be covering these artists more or less in the order that I encountered them. Number 10, Nick Woolsey. This one should probably not come as a surprise to anyone. I remember in my first year of learning poi, once I'd exhausted tricks that my friends in the Denver fire spinning community could teach me, I discovered Nick's tutorials on YouTube. Not only did that keep me engaged by giving me new challenges every few months, it also gave me a peek into the world-spanning community that I was becoming a part of. Even more than that, when the time came for me to start making my own videos, I looked to Nick as an example of how to communicate with an audience. By talking intimately with the camera, Nick always made me feel like we were friends long before I actually met him. And it was exactly that quality that I wanted to emulate in my own work. Number 9, Christian Medina. Straight up, if you don't know who Christian Medina is, then you've missed a huge and very important chapter in tech poi history. I first met Christian at a party at Wonderland in Queens, New York when I moved there in the fall of 2007. He was performing an atomic buzzsaw weave, and it was literally the first poi trick I ever saw that I could not wrap my head around. Christian inspired my work with breaking apart Zan's diamond using the Mercedes, my curiosity into anti-brids, and most of all, showed me that as much as I felt like I'd learned in the first year of spinning, the rabbit hole went so much deeper than I could possibly have imagined. Christian is the reason that I got into tech poi and has continued to be not just an enormous source of inspiration, but a wonderful friend and colleague ever since. Do yourself a favor and check out his work. You're sure to find more than a few spinners you respect are following in his footsteps, whether they realize it or not. Number 8, Alien John. So John is one of the big ones for me, without a doubt. I barely even know where to start on talking about his influence on me. Whether it was his work in unit circle theory inspiring my own attempts to create frameworks, the countless jaw-dropping tricks that I just had to learn, or the overall mentality of seeing poi as a series of mathematical expressions, there's scarcely an element of how I think of poi that hasn't been influenced by him. To say nothing of the fact that I owe a big part of my career to him. I didn't share my videos when I first started creating them. I was doing it on a lark and never even thought about asking other people to watch them. John was the first person to link to them and share them in online conversations about poi, starting to help me build my audience before I was even trying to do that. From the vocabulary I use to describe poi tricks to the methods by which I understand and analyze the art, I owe it all to this man. If you're looking for the less polished master behind the more well-known artist, John is where you'll want to go. Number 7, Ronin McLaughlin. I used to joke frequently that if you were familiar enough with Alien John and Ronin, that nothing I did as a poi spinner would ever surprise you. That's changed a lot as I've gotten deeper into dance, but if you look at my approach to spinning before that became a huge element of my style, I was really just a straight-up mashup of these two artists. For the most part, we all know the tricks that Ronin does, but what he does with them is make them look beautiful. Probably more so than any other poi spinner out there. He polishes and refines every trick until it looks like the platonic ideal of itself. To say nothing of the ways in which he incorporates stillness into his spinning in a way that literally no other movement artist that I've ever seen does. It was Ronin that finally made anti-brids and cat-based hybrids click for me. Basically all the anti-brids you've ever seen me do at some point, I got from looking at Ronin and being all like, oh, so that's what that's supposed to look like. Number 6, Kate Mccoy. Oh my God, where do I even start with Kate? You ever meet somebody whose mind just works in such a way that you feel totally out of your depth even trying to hold down a conversation with them? You basically just sit back and bask in the radiance of them? That is the kind of creativity that Kate has. I've lost count of the number of times I've seen her come up with something that was so beautiful and so elegant and so completely outside the realm of anything I'd considered up to that point. To make matters even better, she's an absolute sweetheart and has been a dear friend to me now for more than a decade. I really hope in my lifetime that I'll exhibit even a tenth of the brilliance that I've seen Kate pour into her spinning. In the meantime, though, I'll settle for being knocked out by her every time and then trying to teach people how she did it. Number 5. Ivan Mel Gorbanov. I remember when Mel first rose to prominence, exploding onto the scene with a long video called Me and My Shadow that announced to most of the tech-poi world that this kid from Russia had arrived and was a force to be reckoned with. Some of the snarkier spinners then began to ask if he could flow as well as he could create tricks. And he released a video of his performance at Fires festivals, and it is still my favorite Fire Poi performance video of all time. As we began the 2010s, he released Red Pants, arguably the last great tech poi blog of the era, and a watershed work that gave rise to the horizontal stacking movement. I used to really dig Mel for the depth and diversity of his tricks. Now I look back at his performance videos, and they've become a huge source of inspiration for me as a dancer. If you're looking for the best of both worlds, Mel's the guy to get them from. Number 4. G. If Mel's the guy that I want to dance like, G is definitely the guy that I feel like I currently dance like. I first met G at Fire Drums 2009, where he was constantly followed around by a cloud of young tech spinners trying to learn his approach to plane breaking, a fresh and innovative approach to 3D spinning that had everyone's jaw on the ground. G's performance at San Francisco DCOM was an amazing showcase of his skills, using stalls as punctuation to match the accents of the music and alternating back and forth between moments of flowier movement and staccato spinning. And yeah, if you've seen any flow or performance video I have ever done, you know where I'm going with this next. That staccato approach to spinning and creating musical accents is something that I cribbed from him and has become a center point to my own style ever since. Number 3, Tim Goddard. So I can imagine many of you are looking at that name and thinking, well, but Drex and Tim don't spin very much like each other. And you would be correct. The ways that Tim has inspired me are a little more subtle than that. It might be hard to remember this, but when Tim first started dropping his videos, they really stood out from the pack, not just because of the tricks in them, but also because the videos themselves were beautiful. At the time, nobody in the flow world was working with color grading or telling a story visually. Tim reset the bar for everyone overnight, and I went from single take videos where I mumbled at the camera to doing animations, more in-depth editing, and finally learned how to create a decent shot with my equipment. Tim threw down the gauntlet for all of us, so you've got him to thank for the level of polish my videos have currently. Number 2, Taylor Glenn. Isn't Taylor a juggler, you ask? Yeah, she sure is. You know what else she is? An amazing content creator. For many years, there weren't a lot of flow artists producing regular content online, and figuring out not only how to create a brand around that, but also how to produce the best videos and build a business out of it was a conversation I could have with, well, nobody, if I'm going to be real with you. Taylor brought a background as a professional editor into her work as a content creator, and that inspired me not only to improve my own videos, but also to present them with the same level of polish that she does. Seriously, if you want a crash course in flow arts content done right, go spend an hour poking around her channel. I'm lucky enough to also call Taylor a friend and a confidant, and we have definitely been there to talk each other through some difficult parts of our careers. Thanks both for the inspiration, as well as for all the support, Taylor. Number 1, Nicole Goss. I know. Hooper. What did I learn from Nicole? Oh my God, so much. Like Taylor, Nicole is an amazing content creator and perhaps understands branding more than any other flow artist that I've ever seen. But more than that, she understands that the nature of being an influencer and creating content is also to turn it into a community. More so than any other content creator I've seen in the flow arts, Nicole uses her content to make people feel seen, feel heard, and feel less alone. She has an incredible knack for connecting with people and building beautiful projects out of that connection. Also, we may or may not refer to each other as our social media spouses. It's a thing. Seriously, just go check her out. And if you'd like to get to know any of these artists better, I'm leaving links to their platforms down in the description. You will not regret the time you spend with any of them. Did you get anything out of this video? Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share to help other people find it and help my channel grow. Real quick, I just wanted to throw a huge thank you out there because this video would not be possible without the kind support of these wonderful people right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon, and they, along with the people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on my channel possible. Do you like poi content? Do you like tutorials, flow sessions, and vlogs on flow arts culture? Consider signing up to support my work. I want to bring flow arts to the wider world and help people connect with their brains and their bodies through prop spinning. So help me do it. Head on over to patreon.com/Drex Factor and sign up. You can do that either by clicking on the card that just popped up on YouTube or by using the link down in the description. Not only will you be supporting this mission, but you'll also be able to get early access to all of my content, a vote in what content I produce in the future, and a host of other awesome rewards such as a special weekly poi lesson that's delivered right into your inbox and is available only to my supporters. Go give that a look, and please consider supporting this channel. Thank you in advance. What did you think of my list, and who would go on your list? Let me know down in the comments. I'll leave a link to a playlist of some other vlogs I've done on a variety of flow arts content down in the description, as well as up on screen if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure to get outside and get your flow on today. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you with a new video on Wednesday. Peace.